What's up, Colts fans? How you doing? Oh man, I could definitely be better, especially after that game, man. That was bad. It was the Colts' worst performance all season long. Okay, you had the loss to the Saints at home by 11. You had the loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars both times. Okay, I can't quite remember the score of the Jacksonville Jaguars game in Jacksonville. We definitely lost by double-digit points. One of, I think, 3 times this season we've lost. 4 times this season we've lost by double-digit points. Lost by 10 to the Jacksonville Jaguars the first time. Lost by double-digit points to them at Jacksonville. Lost to the Saints by double-digit points. Now the Bengals by double-digit points. The other 2 losses, one to the Browns, that was a 1-point loss. And the other loss, can't quite remember. But here we are, 7-6. The Bengals now 7-6. Something very interesting about the way the playoffs are looking right now. The Colts are still in the playoffs. I thought after a loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, the Bengals would be over the Colts and the Colts would be out. That's not how it works. So right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts. The Steelers are at 6, the Colts are at 7. In this order, the Texans at 8, the Broncos at 9, the Bengals at 10, and the Bills at 7. All of those teams are 7-6. Wild stuff. We're about to get into some really good football here in December. This is what December football is all about. Those who can play December football, those who can play January football. All right? So this is a crucial time. This was a crucial game. Okay? The fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars lost, the Texans lost, I think the Steelers lost to the Patriots. The fact that all those teams lost this week and the Colts couldn't capitalize. The Colts couldn't gain some ground on the Jacksonville Jaguars for the AFC South. I said in the last video, the Colts need to go 5-0 these next 5 weeks in order to have a shot at the AFC South. The Jaguars lost. Good, but you didn't win. Now you're in the same spot. You still need the Jacksonville Jaguars to lose 2 games, and you still need to win out as the Indianapolis Colts. So I think right now you need to focus on the wild card, which is what everybody's focused on. But there's so many teams right there. The reason why the Colts are, in fact, in the playoffs at this moment is because they have a better conference record. When there's more than 2 teams that have the same record, it doesn't go head-to-head. It goes straight to conference record. The Colts have a 5-4 conference record, which makes this game on Saturday that much more crucial. Now, I'm not going to get into that game right now. I just wanted to set the stage on what this game against Cincinnati meant. And now that the Colts lost, we gotta rebound, man. We have to win. We have to win at Lucas Oil Stadium against Pittsburgh. But let's talk about this game. Like I said, the Bengals beat us 34-14. I did make the trip down to I-74. My dad and I went in. I was like, hey, man, I got Sunday off. He'd already been looking at tickets. So, boom, we went ahead, pulled the trigger on it, went down to Cincinnati, and it was cool, man. Cincinnati was lit. We didn't really tailgate. We kind of just drove into the city, and, we went straight to the game. But the fans, they were rowdy. They were loud. Now, Coach Zach Taylor of the Cincinnati Bengals, he called out the fan base just because he doesn't think that they're loud enough. They need to be rowdy against the Minnesota Vikings coming up on Saturday. Hey, whatever you need to do to rally the fans, man. But I thought that they were solid. Okay, I did. Now, there was a point in the game where Jake Browning had just thrown that pick 6 to Ronnie Harrison, and that tied the game at 14. Well, the 2-point conversion tied the game, but that pick 6 put the Colts in tying position, and the crowd deflated. At halftime, it felt like the Colts went in with a bit of an advantage. I felt good at halftime being tied at 14 after being down by 14. Well, that wasn't the case going out of halftime. I thought we should have capitalized on the momentum. We didn't. Jake Browning, man, we were right down the field on us. Jake Browning all day 18 of 24, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns. That one pick, 122.7 QBR. Phenomenal. What's going on here? Is Jake Browning just Joe Mixon? Is Jake Browning Joe Burrow 2.0 here? I don't understand. He's balling. He's playing really well. Joe Mixon, he helped. 21 carries, 79 yards, a touchdown. He had 3 catches through the air, 46 yards. Chase Brown, he had 3 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. Now look, okay, I don't blame the refs. This game was awful in all 3 phases. The special teams was absolutely awful. They had the missed field goal. They had the missed extra point. And then you had that muff punt where the player was kind of blocked into Isaiah McKenzie, and it was a muff punt, and the Bengals recovered. That was really kind of your last chance at some sort of comeback at that point. That was the backbreaker at that point. Because I felt it right when it happened. I'm like, that was it. That's it. This is it. We're done. And of course, I'm pretty sure they scored the touchdown. But back to the refs thing. On that play to Chase Brown, that screen pass, I thought that was blocked at the back. Against Kenny Moore, man. Not against Kenny Moore, but like it was committed against Kenny Moore. I thought that was blocked at the back. There were a couple questionable holding calls, and they did not do a great job of showing these replays at the stadium, which I'm not surprised, okay? It's an away game, showing away teams. You know, that long touchdown run by Zach Moss was called back by a holding. Quentin Nelson, I didn't think it was a holding. There's a couple other, that there was a penalty down where the elevation penalty, whatever it was, leaping, the personal foul down there when the Bengals kicked the field goal. Then you have the elevation penalty, put them in, closer to the end zone. And I think you had another penalty that put them even closer to the end zone. They ended up punching the ball in, getting the touchdown. But just a rough game all around, man. Absolutely rough. Gardner Minshew, he 26 of 39, 240 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. The pick was kind of weird. It was kind of like he just threw it up, ball was hit. It was either a fumble or an interception. Hand was going forward. The guy caught it. It was an interception. Zach Moss could not do anything. 13 carries for 28 yards, 2.2 yards per carry. And every time he got something going, holding. Offense. It was just a tough game, man. Michael Pittman was the only bright spot of the offense. 8 catches, 95 yards. He's well on his way to 1,000 yards. I know he had like 889 yards coming into this game, so add 95 to that. I'm not going to do the math on that, but he's really close to 1,000 yards. He should break it against Pittsburgh, but he was solid, but the offense has to be better. I think what it is the defense is just stacking the box. Darren Gardner, stopping the run. Darren Gardner Minshew to throw, which, he's shown time and time again he's a little inconsistent throwing the football. He can't take care of the ball sometimes. So Jonathan Taylor, man, I don't know what's going on with him. He had that surgery in LA or wherever he went, and 2 to 3 weeks, 3 to 5. I don't know. This could be a game where he comes back. We'll see. This is definitely a game where the Colts would like to use a guy like Jonathan Taylor because he's just so dynamic. He could pretty much do it all. But yeah, that's it, man. The Colts, they really could have capitalized, and they didn't. And they played awful in Cincinnati. Little fun fact, not so fun fact, I am 0-2 in Cincinnati as a Colts fan. So there's that. And the Bengals are undefeated, so 7-0 when they don't allow a 100-yard rusher. So good on them. That's solid, man. They played really well. I was hoping that the Colts were more prepared than what they were. Just, like Shane Steichen said, a couple of players in the Colts offense, just a bunch of self-inflicted, self-inflicted things. The Colts, they couldn't overcome. You got to rebound. You got to bounce back against Pittsburgh, man. And you got to get after the quarterback. I forgot to mention that. Jake Browning stayed clean. He stayed up in the pocket. No sacks by the second best team in the league when it comes to sacks. No sacks for this defense. Could not get pressure on the quarterback. and it was over. Over before it started, really, because the Bengals just flat out played better than us. But that's the way it goes, man. You know, you win 4 in a row. You do for a dud, I guess. And this is the worst game of the season. Hopefully, it's all up from here because you're in crunch time. You went out, you can make the playoffs. If you lose this game to the Pittsburgh Steelers, your playoff chances are on life support. Well, that's it. That's all I got. Please follow me, Twitter. Don't really know what my Twitter name is, but it'll be here, right here. Follow me on, or subscribe here. Comment. Tell me how you like this video. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think is going to happen with the Colts. Are they going to make the playoffs? Are they not going to make the playoffs? For me personally, I think they make the playoffs. Somebody asked me, what's the magic number? I think 10 wins, which means 3 more wins. At least 3 more wins. I'd love to win the next 4. Okay? You've got Pittsburgh. You've got Atlanta. You've got the Raiders. And then you've got the Texans. That Texans game is going to be tough. CJ Stroud, he's a little banged up. We'll see what happens with that. That's on down the road. We're here. We're worried about. We're on to Pittsburgh, man. Let's just get it. Let's get this win on Saturday night, man. Let's go, Colts. Let's go, Colts, baby. Let's go.